Hello and welcome back to RPG Familiar. We have a surprise, more RPG Reddit horror stories for you. This is on the RPG Horror Story subreddit. The title of this reads, Player pushes for a game but doesn't participate at all. What a lead, like, come here, bull, and then swoop.
We've had some people like that.
We have. Yeah. We have had some people. You've specifically had players like this. That they'll approach you to be a part of the game, and then like you start going through the process, and they're just like
they just dip.
You just fade into the void of nothingness.
I'm like, what do I do with your character now?
Spaghetti meatball, just thrown off into the woods.
Spaghetti meatball. What a good character.
Anyway. So the post reads, sorry for any bad formatting. I'm on mobile. Everyone is always apologizing for bad formatting on mobile.
Whatever.
If you're doing it in paragraphs, it's as much formatting as I need.
It's not a wall of text, so.
Recently, my boyfriend and I got a group together for a Pathfinder game. Everyone was excited for it, especially the player in question. He had been begging for help finding a group to play with for a while. He pushed more for D&D 5e, but was willing to play any system. And with Pathfinder, that's a really decent
equivalent.
It's close enough. We started putting our characters and gear together, which, by the way, if you complain that I'm saying it's close enough, I don't care. We started putting our characters and gear together.
Angry typing.
Yeah, I can hear it immediately. I made a ranger. Boyfriend made an arcanist. And we also had a rogue, a druid, a samurai, who were new to playing any kind of tabletop. Okay, so a lot of new players. The player in question made a swashbuckler. He planned to cross into the bard. So a little planning on little subclass, multi-classing. The first few sessions end up being a lot of teaching for the new players and how to play and how to build their characters. The swashbuckler shows up for only part of one and ends up having my boyfriend completely build his character outside of the rest of the group. Whoa, okay.
Interesting.
That's title is fitting so far. I would be so upset.
Why did that person get a say?
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm curious about. Did they ask your partner to finish building their character? Because that feels like something that feels like personal, you know?
Right.
Or was it just like I don't have time to, I trust you? Yeah, or maybe it's like, you know the system better, this is what I want. Maybe. But it goes on to say, as we got into the first gameplay session, all of a sudden the swashbuckler stopped communicating. When we finally got a hold of him 2 hours after the start, he said he'd join in on Discord. So I jump into the voice channel with him. He barely says a word, doesn't participate at all. He doesn't even have a name for his character.
Oh God, that's pretty bad.
That's bare minimum.
Yeah.
In the middle of the game, he pulls someone else into the channel who starts streaming a video game for him to watch.
What?
Just like a random person.
Yeah.
This is my friend Joe. He's playing Valorant. I'm just gonna watch him play while we're doing this. Sorry.
That's crazy.
We tried pulling him back into our game and helping us get information from an innkeeper and shopkeepers. He just leaves the call with no real explanation. What the hell is going on?
This guy's all over the place.
He's never let them anticipate your next move, really, is this guy's entire definition. Now we're about to have the next session, and he's already saying he doesn't know if he can show up. Every solution we offer is met with a different excuse. Most of the players are already saying that they'd rather not keep the swashbuckler in the party if he won't commit to actually playing, which, fair.
Yeah.
I'm looking at adjusting my build so I can be the face, but honestly, my boyfriend is the only one who wants to try to keep him involved, and tries to get him involved again. And even he is getting worn down by it.
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It low-key seems like he's just throwing a tantrum because it's not in D&D 5e.
That's all, yeah, right?
Like, he just lost all interest because it's not the format that he wants.
Which
Which is like, is fine if you want to just quit, but like
This like
dragging it out and being a baby about it and like making everyone else miserable is like a really dick move.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's challenging when you're first like getting your toes in the water for a new system. I feel like that's made easier almost when you know that you're not the only one.
Yeah.
It's like everyone at the table is learning the system. Everyone is kind of understanding this is new. This is not something everyone is like super familiar with. And I feel like it's just kind of a dick move to be like, oh, I'm in, but I'm not. I'm in, but no.
Yeah.
It's the half committal that I feel like is the most infuriating part of this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to read some of these comments. Let's see. This seems like the top comment here. It says, this is not a person who is actively interested in playing in your campaign. Play without him or drop him completely. If you wanted to be part, you would have made any effort. Yeah. Any effort. It feels like he decided this is the build type I want, swashbuckler and then bard. That's all they decided.
Yeah.
And then the only decision after that was, fuck this.
Yeah, I feel like just at a certain point, they decided they didn't want to deal with
the system or the
Pathfinder,
people
I guess.
or something.
And just decided not to say that and to instead just like be wishy-washy and like half ghost them. I don't know.
I would love to hear their explanation. I really wish, here's the thing, this is so new. I wonder if we're ever going to get an update.
Right, 5 days ago.
I want to turn notifications on. If there's an update, I'm going to make a part 2 to this. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and hop into the next story.
Okay.
Which this one comes to us from Lilium Darkwhite. Lilium Darkwright from 2 years ago. This is also on the RPG Horror Story subreddit. And the title is DM repeatedly shows obvious favoritism to their girlfriend. Can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. That's why when we play, I try to like kill you.
The opposite of favoritism.
Yeah, I gotta throw out every suspicion. I'm just like, okay, in the wolf, Max, it has you down. You're down on 5 HP.
I just try to kill you because you always have the most hit points.
Yeah. I was always playing the tank in your game.
Mm-hmm.
I was meant to be hit.
Yeah.
It was a surprise if I ever went down.
Yeah.
I was a bitch. I was a bear totem. Anyway, sorry.
Nobody needs to know the bills, James.
But the post goes on to say, I had to make a second account because my DM knows my other Reddit. Okay, so there's already already a level of like
full drama.
Yeah. Sorry if this seems incoherent. I didn't think I would post this today, but I guess I wanted to see if I was insane. All names used are fake, obviously. Always good. My DM, who we'll call Mike, fucking Mike, has been running D&D 5th edition games on and off with us for a few years now. His girlfriend, Jenny, which for the record, when I was just skimming this, I thought it said Jerry. I was like, why did you name their girlfriend Jerry? I love it. His girlfriend, Jenny, has recently started playing with us for this latest campaign. We began about half a year ago now. Mm-hmm. And though Mike has historically been a great DM, he just keeps bending the rules and generally focusing the campaign around Jenny's character to a ludicrous degree. Mm-hmm. For example, myself and a number of our party members have noticed for a long time that no matter how much damage we all collectively deal as a party, no boss has ever died until she's hit them. Here's one thing I will say. If this is a coincidence, if you notice this as a game master, fudge that.
Yeah.
You gotta switch it up.
Gotta balance it out, let everybody get their moment of glory.
I would be lying if I said that I didn't explicitly let a monster live an extra turn to let someone else at the table who's maybe not super present that day get the kill.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's more about keeping people involved.
Yeah. Or like somebody doesn't do as much damage as everyone else.
You gotta give them a win.
Yeah.
You got it. At the end of the day, it's about having fun. And you'd really, like, it's good when people have those like really over outstanding moments of glory. It's different if poor little Rowan over there is like, they're getting knocked over, getting knocked prone, not standing up and just not doing anything.
Yeah.
But that aside to say, the post goes on. This is also something that is applied to the last enemy of any particular combat encounter. We'll collectively barrage the last bandit with rogue sneak attacks, hail of arrows, paladin smites, and anything else that we have. Just really beating up that last goblin.
Oh my god.
But after literally hundreds of points of damage, the thing that the bandit dies to is Ginny's magic missile. I'm not usually one to get jealous over arbitrary kill counts in D&D, but some of us have actively started withholding our attacks to let her hit the last enemy. Oh wow, gaming the system. For them to miraculously die when Ginny hits them despite them not having been targeted yet. And seemingly perfectly fine the last turn. Okay.
Interesting.
That's one way to really game the system.
Yeah.
What if you just
really
don't
test it?
What if you just don't address it and you're just like, Ginny, go get him. Ginny.
Yeah.
The big bad Ginny,
yeah,
go fight him.
That's true, yeah. Just send her towards the one you want dead.
We have an army. We have a Ginny. This is far from the most overt thing, though. Whenever Ginny is disappointed with the damage that a magic weapon does, or she misses an attack with a weapon, Mike will retcon the stats of the weapon to do more damage or have a higher bonus to hit to an insane degree. So this isn't just like speculative. This is is blatant. Oh my god. I can buy that you forgot to put a damage bonus or a bonus to hit on a magic weapon that you hand out. That's believable. But when he's adding, no joke, as much as 6d6 extra damage onto a magic crossbow just to appease her when she's sad and didn't one-shot an enemy, it gets absurd. Oh, that sword was supposed to be a +5 that actually hits. Oh, my bad, this random soldier is actually weak to lightning damage, so double that damage. Oh, fucking A. And oh, I forgot to add the second damage type. Add 4d12 fire damage onto that. Jesus fuck, oh my god. It gets tiring very fast, especially when it only happens for one character. Ginny is playing a full caster, yet she's better in martial combat than any of us martial characters because of the random bonuses she keeps being miraculously given. This would drive me insane. This would drive me crazy. One, because I'm a martial character anyway. I typically only play martial classes. So I'm, heavy in the belief that spellcasters are already like a leg up. This would drive me mad.
Yeah.
I can't. I have no sentences. I'm imagining.
No words.
Like a brain cell just died. Compounding the frustration is that we have spent the last several months only doing content related to Ginny's character's backstory, dealing exclusively with her family of wacky and zany characters and exclusively helping them while ignoring the main plot. Any attempts to get back on track quickly see Mike's railroad and brings us back into the realms of Ginny's past so that she's once again the star of the show. In all honesty, I'm beginning to feel like an NPC played by a guest character rather than a player at all. I'm not sure what to do at this point. I don't really know how to talk to Mike about this, and I don't want to hurt his feelings by pulling out of the campaign, but things have gotten so ridiculous that it feels like the only option. Am I crazy here, or is this actually a problem? What do I even begin to do about this? Okay. Comes back to the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Right? The fundamentals is communication.
Yeah.
And I will say, this is from 2 years ago, so I may not be talking directly to Lilium Dark right here, but if anyone else is experiencing a similar issue to this, you've got to communicate. You've got to have those uncomfortable conversations, but you have to do it in the most respectful way that you possibly can.
Yeah.
But this is, I'm sure you would agree.
Yeah, I would say, I understand where he's potentially trying to make her feel special to get her initially interested in the game. When you're roping in somebody who doesn't normally play an RPG, and maybe especially for women who are not into nerdy stuff at all.
And already feel like they don't have a place at the table. Yeah.
I can understand where initially you would want to, make that person feel special and give them extra plot points and things like that to rope them in. But at some point, you have to, like, cut that out. It needs to trickle out and back into the main story. It can't, when there's other people at the table, it can't all be about one person all the time. So,
yeah. And I'm trying to see if they mention a timeline of how long this has been going on. But I feel like if it's gotten to the point where they're...
after a while...
Yeah, I feel like if it's gotten to the point where they're going out of their way to create a second Reddit account to vent about this, and with how many examples there are as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's about that time. You gotta start trickling that off. But I definitely agree, like, getting people invested and interested. It's kind of like the equivalent of the early God of War games, or like the first God of War game. You start out with all of your powers, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm this badass soldier, I'm doing all this stuff. But then after the first mission, your powers get stripped from you, and your goal is to like earn them all back.
Oh, I see.
But
that's kind of a cool concept.
It is a cool concept because you get to see how powerful you're going to be at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And you're invested because it's like, I had all these powers, they took them away from me. So I'm like, it's getting them invested and roped in, like you were saying, for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think this person's crazy.
Definitely not.
I hope they have those. I'm really surprised there's not an update to this. I want to see what these top comments are.
Yeah.
They've replied to some of the comments. Okay, so this one says, you're not insane. This is a problem. I hope that someone has better advice about how to go about this, but you need to talk to your DM and explain how unfair this is. They replied, thank you for the reassurance. It's just crazy to us. We're a 6-person part. Oh my God, 6 people. 3 of us, myself included, have noticed this and think something needs to be done. The other 2 don't seem to notice anything wrong. And the last one is Jenny herself, obviously. Despite the other 2 agreeing with me, they don't want to bring it up to the DM either. I don't think I can get any real change just going to the DM myself, though. Things just feel stuck. And it sucks because this was my favorite D&D group. But now it's just all that. Well, I will say, if you're also in the situation, because I know for a fact I'm not talking to Lilium Darkright, is that even if you don't have your fellow players to come with you, the concern of one player needs to be a concern of the game master.
Yeah.
So you can have this conversation with your game master and leave them out of it, that, not to drag them in, but you can say, hey, this is an issue I've noticed. It's kind of bothering me. Or even talking to your friends and say, hey, if I leave you ambiguous, can I mention that some other players have had similar thoughts, but we don't want to make anything weird?
It really sucks when you're the only person willing to come forward when multiple people have an issue, though. Because it's hard to not make it just seem like it's your opinion.
Yeah, way to split the party, guys.
Yeah.
You're in love Tuesday.
You're in love Tuesday?
Tuesday. Tobbs Day. Anyway, I wanted to cover stories based around the fact, or the idea of having couples at the RPG tables, or having couples in your RPG settings, because not everything is about playing D&D at a table or playing RPGs at a table.
Yeah, there's a lot of interpersonal relationships that go along with that.
Yeah, and in friend groups in general, too. It's not just an RPG exclusive subject, but I think it becomes a little more emotionally charged when you throw in a hobby that you kind of use as your escape from your day-to-day lives. But the first story, it comes from us from Blind Dice 352 on the RPG Reddit Stories subreddit. Title reading, boyfriend of 10 years broke up with me over a game.
10 years.
That's intense. I'm wondering, because here's the thing.
It's gotta be bad.
It's gotta be really, or this guy is just overreacting. Like a big, play it up kind of guy.
We shall see.
I was nervous about posting this, but screw it. So this isn't totally D&D related, but I use dice in my Conan server. I run a Conan RP server for me and my friends, and it's been going pretty well so far. For a long time, every time I've tried to run an RP server, it has always gone wrong in some way, somehow, someone has had an issue. This time, though, things are different. This time, everyone has been having a good time and getting along, and here's how it started. So back when we were still dating, aka a few weeks ago. Okay, so this is very fresh writing of all this. And this is not a short post either. So I'm sure this was very therapeutic
Yeah.
to sit down and write all this out. I would tell my boyfriend everything. We had a lot in common and generally enjoyed each other's companies without the rest of our friend group, as a couple should. For some context, it was a long-distance relationship, and I know what you're going to say. Those kind of relationships never work. Well, we made it work, and we made it work for a long time, in fact.
10
for
years.
About 10 years.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That is a really long time for long distance.
They go on to say, you see, I'm disabled, so the fact that a guy could love someone like me, which first of all, you deserve love no matter what.
Definitely.
Knowing all the BS I've had to deal with and still deal with was a godsend. We met through a video game. Cringe, I know. Everything's online these days. Nothing is cringe anymore.
We met on Instagram.
Yeah, we met on Instagram. You stalked me on Instagram.
I did not.
Anyway, but it's not like I can just go out and meet people. You're right, because you have to stalk them on Instagram.
Shut up.
Anyways, I would tell him everything, and so would he. We even fell asleep in party chats a few times. Fast forward to a few weeks ago. Okay, so this is right around the time of the breakup then. And I started telling him about my RP server. I figured since he liked hearing about my D&D sessions, that this would be no different. Boy, was I wrong. I'm curious why, and this is not like pushing blame, because it sounds like the RP server had been going on for a little while, and it sounds like he's just now finding out about it.
I don't know.
I guess if it just doesn't come up, then it doesn't come up. But so I started telling him about the stuff that had been going on in game. At first, he wasn't interested in joining my RP server, even though another one of our friends asked him to, or wanted him to. The way I run the server is that people would be given the password once they make a character sheet, and that's where this becomes a horror story. Interesting. Remember how I said he wasn't interested in joining? Well, every so often my friend would ask if my boyfriend was going to join. I would say no, probably not, until one evening when he decided that yes, he was going to join. I got excited and started telling him more about what's been happening in game. I told him about the people, the characters, and stuff like that. But then it occurred to me and I asked, oh wait, do you have the DLC map? Now this is where I'm getting a little confused because I thought Conan, I guess it's a game.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a Discord server where you roleplayed. But
Yeah.
I guess it's an actual in-game, like video game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I should have told him beforehand, as it likely would have saved me some trouble, but it completely slipped my mind as we tend to game share. However, had I known what trouble this would cause, I would have done this different if I could have. He then proceeded to get upset at me, saying he didn't have the DLC and that he didn't care for it and thought we were playing on the original map. He also said that I, quote-unquote, wasted his time because he apparently spent half a day working on his character sheet, but it was, quote-unquote, pointless now, even though, and in all caps, all he had to do was get it off me.
I don't know. Get the DLC
Perhaps.
from them?
I mean, yeah, because they game share. That would make sense.
Maybe, yeah.
But no, he threw a tantrum saying that you never told me anything beforehand, just told me to join. Newsflash, nobody was really told anything because it's all self-explanatory on the Discord, so all he had to do is make his character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you get access to the Discord after you make your character. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It also didn't help that I told him that my character had a child with a friend's character. Okay. I asked him if he had a problem with it, and he said no. And asked how. It was pretty much the characters got drunk and practiced diplomacy, quote unquote, but it wasn't ERP or anything, just like Fade to Black and Bad Dice Roll. I guess Roll for Pregnancy.
Right, yeah.
we've done a few of those.
Yeah, we have done that.
Oh, my poor character.
That's so funny.
Has snake triplets
Mm-hmm.
that he did not know about for a very long time. Now me and my boyfriend and this friend in game all know each other, and he's married, so I wasn't doing this to cheat on my boyfriend. We just thought it was stupid fun, which it is stupid fun.
Yeah, it's funny when shit like that happens with characters.
But my boyfriend, however, did not. Okay. I'm already, just a sidebar, I'm getting big, like, red flags from this guy. I feel like he's going through something.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's throwing a tantrum about character creation. He's making a big deal about...
Yeah, but we don't know, like, what's happened in their relationship before, if she's ever, like, done anything to make him jealous or whatever. You know, this could just be, like, a final straw situation.
Yeah, it also feels like
so far he seems like he's just overreacting and being jealous for no reason.
Yeah. He was also, I guess this is also kind of coming out of, he showed no interest, which I guess is why she hasn't been telling him about the server.
Yeah.
So I guess now that he's learning about it, he's like, but it's like you had the opportunity to learn more about this, and I guess just didn't show
any interest. Yeah.
This incident has taught me to never take what someone says at face value ever again. That's a bad lesson.
Oh, yeah. Can you spell trust issues?
Yeah, because even though he said it didn't bother him, it actually did bother him when we talked days later. By that time, though, he had already thrown in the towel. That was our relationship. Oh my God, that was our relationship. It was devastating, and he had me in tears for many nights after it. This is for having a pretend baby?
That's crazy. Oh my God.
When we did talk it out, however, and I found out his issues, I guess I can understand from his point of view. But if he had just told me that it bothered him, I could have changed things. I asked him what now, because we do still care for each other, and he said it's your choice. Clearly it's not, because you already made your choice by breaking up with me instead of talking it out, but okay. I told him that I didn't want it to be my choice. I wanted the feelings to be mutual, and I said maybe it's best if we go on our separate arcs, so to speak. For some context, remember how I said we were together for 10 years? In this time frame, he has already broken up. Oh, we've already broken up 3 times before this.
Oh my God.
Okay, so a bit of an off and on. So we hadn't seen each other in person, face to face, which should have been a red flag. 10 years? How do you go 10 years
without seeing each other face to face?
Yeah. Oh my God. I could never.
Yeah.
I'm a little lover boy. I gotta get there.
Gotta get your cuddles.
Yeah. Put me on the airplane, dude. Something.
Yeah.
Which should have been a red flag. Now thinking about it, I told him that the 3rd time was his last chance, and he's done well up until this point, which is disappointing and sad. TLDR, boyfriend breaks up a 10-year relationship because he couldn't handle my character having a child with another character that isn't his. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Are there any updates to this?
Rough.
There's no updates. I want to read some of these comments.
Yeah. What are other people saying?
Someone says here, I, like many, am just some jackass on the internet and don't actually know you or this other guy. So take this with a grain of salt. It sounds like your ex already wanted out. This potentially.
Yeah.
And was too much of a coward to say so and started looking for an excuse. Your pretend child was simply the best thing he could scrounge up in that regard. The only molehill he could make into a mountain, which probably fair.
Maybe. Yeah, sometimes people do get crazy jealous over like role play scenarios though, which to me is wild.
Yeah.
I don't. It's pretend.
It is pretend.
It's like acting.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I'm trying to think if we've ever had an incident like at a table where like you've pursued someone or I've pursued someone. We're often the DMs for each other though.
Yeah.
So even if it's like an NPC.
I've had to be other people's like NPC.
Oh yeah,
girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's never been an issue.
It's here's the big thing, and this is what every issue in a relationship kind of boils down to. It's communication. I feel like in this instance, it was probably going down the drain anyway. Like, yeah, I don't think there's any communication that could have happened here, because I do kind of agree with this top comment that maybe they were just looking for an out.
Maybe.
But either way, that's still incredibly messy. Blind Dice 352, if you do end up watching this video, condolences.
Yeah, sorry about your relationship.
Yeah.
Sorry that he couldn't handle a fake child.
Yeah, I hope your pretend child grows up to be an awesome warrior. And just absolutely slays, you know?
Yeah.
This does make me want to look up what Conan is exactly. So
yeah.
Who knows, Blind Dice? Maybe you've started me on a new path. Maybe I'll be in the Discord server next.
Ooh.
Leave a comment.
New player unlocked.
I know, right? I hate women. Sweatpants that don't have pockets in them. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, always.
Well, okay. There's your
argument.
No, am I the asshole being a type of story that we're going to be reading today on the Reddit Reads?
Okay.
We have 2 stories here. I wanted to kick us off with this one here first by Do Reputation 5990.
Okay.
The title of this reads, Am I the Asshole? DM keeps killing my character off. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say probably not.
Well, unless all of your characters are assholes and the DM's trying to make the experience for everyone else better by forcing you to make a character that's nice.
An asshole for an asshole makes the whole world stink. So that's the first lesson. But the post reads, Hey guys, I've been having a bad experience in this current campaign I'm playing. I'm playing a now a level 11 lizard folk cleric. Now, first of all, lizard folk, they're already a little weird because they're literally cannibals.
Right.
So it depends on how much you're role-playing into this, but let's see. Who I've really enjoyed playing so far. He meshes well with the party, and his spells come in handy pretty often. My DM doesn't like him so much though. It's nothing extreme, like banning spells or nerfing my abilities, but I'm beginning to notice a trend during combat. Is the trend that you're dying a lot.
You keep getting stabbed in the gut.
A few sessions ago, the party was fighting some undead in the crypts beneath an abandoned city. There was a group of zombies that swarmed us, led by a powerful skeleton warrior called Muram. The Muram was wreaking havoc amongst the party pretty equally, scoring some strong hits on the barbarian and monk, and then I used Destroy Undead to get rid of the zombies, and as soon as I did, things changed. The Muram started targeting only my cleric and nobody else.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Even when the monk was more open and even when the barbarian triggered an opportunity attack, the Muram only attacked me. Ended up killing my character, and the party had to revive him. When they casted Revivify, though, the DM made them roll against a high DC to succeed, saying my soul was far from my body and not eager to return. Anyway, they rolled high and I came back. First of all, Rowan specifically, rest her soul, has played around with resurrection mechanics, rest her soul.
Every time someone's missing, they're just dead.
Yeah, yeah. Max has died and come back several times. But Rowan has played around with resurrection mechanics in the past, and having a DC to roll on to like bring somebody back is not uncommon. Typically, it's like a scaled progression where it starts out pretty easy and then it gets harder as you go on. So it's interesting that the DM made a high DC. It seems to be the first death of this character.
Yeah.
After that, there were some more combats where the enemies grouped up to only attack my cleric.
My God.
I'm just imagining a poor cleric on the ground, all the enemies
just like kicking him.
Yeah. Ignoring the rest of the party members. I got frustrated about this, so I talked to the DM and she said that she's just role-playing the enemies in a fair way. She said that reasonable enemies would only target the healer and take them down first. I said that I felt kind of singled out, fair, and she just laughed she laughed it off. Oh my God. Next combat, a wizard killed my character again. Oh,
shit,
buddy.
Oh no.
I wonder if she's a wargamer.
Right.
Because like, there's always the joke of like, kill the cleric or like take out the healer.
Yeah, like just because it's something you would do. Taking out the cleric first doesn't mean every single villain is gonna. Yeah,
and not every villain is intelligent enough to do it either. The post goes on to read. This brings us to the most recent session, where a fight against the monk's story arc boss ended up with me dead. The boss only targeted me. What is, if this is the monk's big bad, right? I'm a big fan of individual characters having their own big bad. You did this with your first campaign. It was really amazing.
Yeah.
Why is the monk's big bad only targeting the cleric? I feel like there's more friction.
Yeah,
between the monk.
Yeah, it should be more centered on them for sure.
The boss only targeted me once again. He got revived for a third time and is reconsidering being with the party now. I mean, if I died 3 fucking times.
Yeah, like you guys are bad luck, I think. I'm gonna dip, actually.
If he keeps dying over and over, what reason does he have to continue this journey? Yeah, maybe I'll just be a baker.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna open a tavern.
I'm just gonna retire from this adventure life. I don't think it's for me no more.
Yeah. Am I wrong in in thinking this that I'm being targeted.
Yeah, it's like that. And then I took an arrow to the knee.
And then I took a merman to the knee. And then I took a wizard to the knee. And then I took a big boss to the knee. And that's when I started really considering the health of my knees.
Yeah, decided to just become a guard instead.
No, I don't think you're wrong in thinking that you're being targeted. I think it's super unfortunate that you're being targeted.
Yeah.
But God, 3 times.
Yeah. This person either has a big issue with your character, or, like I said, they just personally are of the belief that every villain will know that you are a healer and will immediately try to knock you out first.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's just being really stubborn in her belief in that, but it still really sucks for your gameplay, and, you know, I don't blame you for wanting to quit at this point.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they're more or less talking about just changing characters.
Yeah.
And I think if they do change characters and it still continues to happen.
Right. Then it's maybe a personal issue.
Yeah. And like, here's like the big tester too, because they mentioned that they already have a barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably not going to take the role of a tank. Mm. So if they're like, I'm coming in as a warlock now, and the barbarian's not being targeted as a tank, and the warlock is still dying. Yeah, it's a pretty clear sign. There's some friction there.
Yeah.
Beyond just player mechanics. There's actually an edit to the story, which just says, "Thanks for the support, guys. I'll talk more about it with my DM, and hopefully we can resolve this." Honestly, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so. This communication is key, and sometimes people are still just assholes, but maybe nobody's the asshole in this situation, and it's just miscommunication.
Yeah.
So, always good to check.
Yeah, which is always nice to have the realization of like, oh, we're on different beats.
Yeah.
Our next story is actually an interesting one because this was originally posted on r/AmITheAsshole, and then somebody cross-posted it over onto the RPG Horror Story subreddit.
Okay, cool.
So the original post is by logical_smoke8437 over on r/AmITheAsshole. The post reads, so the title reads, "Am I the asshole for being bad at running Dungeons and Dragons?"
Sounds like me, honestly.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. We haven't played in like 3 months.
I'm really bad at this stuff. The post reads, "For backstory, I run a small D&D campaign for a group of friends for the last year and 3 months. So pretty long campaign so far. Anything over a year I consider a long-running campaign."
Agreed.
In August, one of my friends, Aaron, asked if they could invite one of their own friends, whom I didn't know, to play as we started a new campaign. Okay. I said that they could sit in on a session and see how they liked the group and the campaign we were starting, which that all makes sense. You don't want to just bring in a whole new element without like really testing things out.
Yeah.
During the session, the new player, Rocky, and Aaron were constantly whispering to each other. I was mildly concerned because it was distracting the group, but wrote it off as unimportant. Yeah, because they could be talking about rules.
Yeah.
Or like if Rocky is new.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely did that to you a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like whispering and like, hey, can you show me how to find my items right now? Like, I'm gonna need this thing. I cannot find it.
I know I have it somewhere.
Hello. And then you're like, and I'm like, I promise it's game related.
I'm just like, there. The next day, Aaron texted me with a list. Oh God. It's never good when you pull out a list. Texted me with a list of things I had done wrong during the session. Added numbers wrong, ran mechanics wrong, changed something from the campaign to better suit the group. They said that Rocky had wrote the list because they had been a part of a quote-unquote real and quote-unquote more fun, oh my God, D&D campaign.
Damn.
Fuck you,
that is so
Rocco.
Harsh. Rocco.
I acknowledged that I'm not the best at remembering things and said that I would try harder to follow the game directions to a T, but I was also hurt. Fair.
Yeah, I would be as well.
At the end of the day, you are the game master. If you change something for the fun of the group, perfect. If you forget something, but everyone still has a good time, win.
Yeah,
Absolute win.
Why does it matter?
It doesn't. Exactly. I think Rocco, new nickname
Rocco.
for you. I think Rocco is being a little fucking self-entitled and thinks that they can do better.
Hello, Rocco.
Rocco.
Say hi to Rocco, Elmo. Hello, Rocco.
I studied up on the campaign and all the things I had done wrong that was on the list. I thought I was better prepared. The next time we played, Rocco constantly questioned anything I tried to do. No matter if what I did was correct or incorrect according to the book, they would say that I was doing something wrong. And the rest of my friends started questioning me too. It got to a point where they wanted to read the campaign book to see what mistakes I was making. I had a horrible time, fair. After the session, I went home and cried in the bathtub and then laid in bed all night. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's a mood, though.
It is a mood.
Only thing you're missing is the ice cream.
Yeah.
I don't want to DM D&D for them anymore. I told this to another member in the group, Stella, and while they agreed that Rocco was being rude, they said that I was also being mean for punishing everyone else for Rocky's behavior by stopping the campaign. I think that Rocco would just take over the campaign and that they would be better of a DM than me anyway, according to the group. Am I the asshole?
No.
No.
I mean, no.
No. At no point are you the asshole here.
No, everybody's being mean to you.
Yeah, everyone is being mean to you.
I don't see any instance where you could possibly be the asshole in this.
It's
like, you may be wrong.
Yeah.
You may be fucking up the game. I don't know. I'm not a part of the game, but you're definitely not being an asshole or being mean in this situation at all.
Yeah, to the point where somebody presented you with a list of criticisms unwarranted, unprovoked criticism of you, and you go, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then try to improve.
Yeah,
so
they just still keep coming for your throat.
And also to the point where they want to read the campaign book. The campaign book does not matter.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this right now. If anyone out there is running systems, running stories out of a pre-written manual, that pre-written manual is a loose guide.
Yeah.
You do not have to follow it to a T. Some people find it very easy to follow it to a T so they don't get off track. But I love using those manuals as a reference and then changing things as you go to make a more interesting experience. And I think if you miss something, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
God, Rocco just pissed me off.
It's okay. It's okay. Rocco wasn't talking to you. Rocco can't hurt you here. This is your D&D room, baby.
Oh, yes. Perfect. And there's no Rocco to be found. But to Logical Smoke 8437. No, not the asshole. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. This was posted a month ago, so hopefully you're watching this or that we can give you some advice that can, immediately change for you. But I would just say, have a really intense conversation. I think with Aaron first. I think Aaron is trying to play arbitrator between you and Rocco. Yeah. Just tell Aaron, hey, this is kind of bothering me. This is how it's affecting me, as a person.
I mean, don't be afraid to kick people out of your games if they're ruining the experience. This other friend is saying, you're punishing everybody by just stopping the game completely. Counter argument to that would be, okay, then you have to be okay with me removing the problematic players if you want to continue with me as a DM.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways here.
Yeah. Rowan said it best in one of our first Reddit reads, Follow the Icon. Bad D&D is worse than no D&D.
Yeah.
I want to see if there are any comments here. Oh, this one is immediately petty. Would you like to read the one here by Chain Letter?
Yes. Okay. So, Rocco is a little bratty coward. He could have came to the DM after with the list of mistakes and concerns and be approaching with, the intent to critique and improve. If I'm playing with something totally wrong to the detriment of the game and you notice, please mention it. But no, there's no distracting side chit chat, sending the friend as a proxy, what the fuck friend,
Aaron.
then needling with minor rules, mistakes, and doubts. Completely obnoxious.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think to sit there and like pick apart the math of like you added these dice incorrectly, that's like
that's ridiculous.
that's like being a grammar police. It's like, what are you doing? You're clearly not coming at this with the intent of actually enjoying yourself. You're looking for things to pick an issue in.
Yeah. Just it seems like somebody who's like trying to one up you and like,
I'm so good at this.
I am joining your D&D game, but I'm so good at D&D. None of you know even how to play D&D, and you're a bad DM, and I could do better because I have way more experience than you. And
I've been a part of way more fun games than this one.
It's very much just like showcasey and showboaty, I guess.
If D&D was on Steam, the amount of hours I would have racked up on that game, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red, yellow. Exactly. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, big reveal. I have a name for this series now. It took a while. Welcome to Rolling with Reddit.
Woo!
Some people roll with advantage, some people roll with disadvantage, but today we are rolling with Reddit. This is one that I actually found on r/Am I the Asshole, called Am I the Asshole for Rolling Well in my D&D group.
Can't relate.
No, unfortunately not.
I am a very, very unlucky dice roller.
Somebody at the table has to look pretty and roll bad.
Yes, exactly.
And that is you.
Yep.
But the post reads, it's a known thing in my Dungeons & Dragons group that I roll really, really well. I have a level 10 Tabaxi rogue that I've been playing for 2 years now and built her to be super optimized for what I like to do. That being said, I have proficiency/expertise in many of the skills that I use frequently, giving me a +6 or more most of the time, which is big. I mean, that can change everything.
Yeah. The thing is, I also have a big plus to all of my stats. But that doesn't make any difference when it's a nat 1.
or worse, a natural 2.
Yeah.
Which is just spitting in your face.
Literally.
I got a message from my DM saying other players were concerned I was fudging rolls. We've had a situation like this with Max.
Oh.
Yeah, early in home game days when Max would play virtually, like when he couldn't make it over. We were like, you're rolling so well, but at the same time, he was a bard with expertise.
Right, yeah.
So like it would just happen.
Yeah.
The post goes on to say, and he said it very tactfully, no hate to him. I explained that I get how it looks from not being able to see my stat sheets and how well I roll. To put it to the test, I've been rolling all of my dice, and today all the dice my significant other and I have 150. Oh, I see.
Oh.
To see what percentages are. So basically they're testing the dice.
Yes.
And they're trying to like roll a certain amount and like see what the average is. 60 to 80% of my rolls ended up being half or better when paired with my stats. That equals a lot of big numbers. Yeah. I mean, but you shouldn't be pairing your stats with these rolls to see if you have fair dice, if that was the goal. Because
I mean, it's specifically talking about his rules in this game with this character, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. All day today.
Because if he's trying to show like specifically for this game why he's rolling so high, it makes sense for him to add his bonuses like as an example to show the DM. Yeah.
It's coming to the table and going, look, like with these stats, I rolled over 150 dice. They're all in my favor.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
While I understand what it looks like, I'm very annoyed that this player didn't come to me directly and wanted to go through our DM. We all went to college together and are great friends, so it feels like a little stab in the back that they felt they couldn't come to me with. I mean, that could just be you reading into it, personally, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's, something to take personally.
Yeah. I feel like they're coming at it from a mindset of, like, this was, I'm being attacked, where I don't think that was necessarily the goal of the player in mind.
They're just trying to make sure everything's fair.
As a little angry response, I want to share a photo of the 150 dice I rolled to prove I don't cheat. Would that make me an asshole?
No.
No, I think putting like your proof on the table is like,
Fine, yeah.
yeah, there's an edit to the story.
Okay.
Edit. I do not use weighted dice or any kind of rolling pattern. Someone else in the group another person in the group bought me a set of dice I use most from a seller online. I'm seeing a lot of suggestions to let everyone see my rolls. 1, we play online because we are divided by states. 2, we always show our faces or have our maps or something on the main screen. So I'm not buying a second camera to be able to project my rolls to everyone. My boyfriend is there when I play, and he can vouch for me. That's fair.
Yeah.
And also, for anyone who's like in the comments here who are probably going to say, use a virtual dice roller. Those things suck. I said it. D&D Beyond, you suck.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm calling shots. The post goes on to say, I'm also seeing a lot of people saying that I should do whatever they ask. They didn't give me any suggestions because my DM believes me and was acting on someone else's behalf. The photo was a bad idea, but I'm not sure what else to do. I also don't tend to use many other skills that I'm not proficient or have expertise in, not because I'm trying to be OP'd, but because I have a lot of them, which 12 for my background, class, level, and downtime, and it makes sense that my character wouldn't use the other ones. She's dumb and grew up in the streets, so she's not going to be the one to make an Arcana check.
Right.
And I mean, I can respect that because it gives other people with those skills
a chance to, use them.
Exactly.
And, shine.
Because we're level 10, my expertise are now +9 or +10, which can make bad rolls mediocre, and others that are +5 or +6, which can make mediocre rolls good. Yeah, I mean, with rogues and bards, those expertises, they stack up, and they definitely do their job. The dice rolling was something I started for fun, just to see if the probability reigns true, and it doesn't because it's all chance. The 150 dice that I rolled are not all my own, and have been rolled multiple times for the same result, 10 to 20% max, 20 to 40% almost max, and 60 to 80% or half or better. My boyfriend suggested sending the photo after watching me roll every single one of them. My DM also uses the rule that most of the time you can't roll lower than your passive perception / wisdom on perception checks. Mine is a 19, thankfully, to the observant feat, so I cannot get lower than a 19 on that check. I mean, you're built well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I'm getting so far.
You made a very optimized character. And, my advice to the DM in this situation would be to, if it's causing tension between your players, to give your other players a leg up so that they're at least somewhat equal to this player's stats. Whether that's like a magical ability or just
a consumable that changes
to even
something.
The playing field a bit. If it's causing this much tension, don't necessarily nerf the one player that's doing the best.
Yeah.
Because this is always going to be a possibility of something that could happen, and you don't want to punish somebody for making a good character.
No, you'd rather raise other people up. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, the girl who I think posted the complaint has a copy of my sheet. It's from level 8, so not completely updated. That's going to make the situation so much worse.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of my stats have changed other than hit points and damage dice because I got flaming short swords from defeating somebody. Okay, I mean, yeah. But still, like, your old level 8 character sheet is not going to reflect your expertise and your, like, proficiency bonus, which with expertise comes in, like, you're talking like an extra +2 or +4 sometimes, depending on how many levels have jumped.
The other thing is, if there's still tension after, like, evening the playing field, like, if people are still accusing this person of cheating, you could also instate a rule where everyone has to send photos of their rolls. Like, don't just target this one character specifically, one player specifically, and only make them send photos of their rolls, because, that's kind of a dick move. But if people are having an issue with it, like, be like, okay, well, then, if this is really an issue for everyone has to send pictures of their rolls from now on in, like, a group chat or something.
Yeah, and I have a feeling everybody's going to get really tired of doing that.
Yeah, real quick. And then,
and then you're going to go right back to your old way.
I feel like eventually people are going to be like, okay, this was dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to, like, get over it eventually.
The post concludes, and for everyone saying that it's not how statistics work or I didn't have a big enough sample size, I rolled 1,252 dice in total from a few different groupings, mine 55 dice, unused dice 150 total, and my significant other for 176 total. And I got 62 to 78% of a, I guess, advantage in a positive roll. If you flip a coin 100 times, it never seems to equal 50% heads and 50% tails. Strange how statistics don't actually work in real life. No, they don't.
Yeah.
There is actually a verdict on this post.
Oh.
I don't know people if they've said that this person is an asshole or not the asshole. What do you think?
I don't think that this person's the asshole. No, like I said, I think they just have a very optimized character.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that that's necessarily their fault.
No, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
But we would be in the minority.
Oh, really?
Because this person was ranked as an asshole.
All right.
It's so weird.
That's weird.
I want to jump into these comments. So the first comment, the top comment, is by... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say this post is by. By the way, this post is by username metallic_rain. Love that username, by the way.
Cool.
But the top comment here by Jimmy Legs 50.
Mm-hmm.
You roll really well. Sorry, that's not how probability works. This person's an asshole. You're not magic. You're not gifted by the gods with the power of lucky rolls. The dice don't know who you are, and they don't give you boosted numbers because you're special. Anyone rolling a fair d20 will have an equal chance of rolling the numbers 1 through 20 every time. We have proof right here that that's not true. In the opposite favor, maybe Metallic Rain has all of your luck.
Maybe
That's why you roll so bad. Maybe you beat up Metallic Rain.
We should kiss and like transfer some luck back and forth so that we equal out.
I love how my solution was fighting, and you're just like, let's kiss, pucker up.
Peace and love, baby.
If I was DMing and one other player was consistently rolling better than everyone else session after session, I would think they're cheating too. I'm just lucky is bull. Share your stats with the DM, roll in front of everyone else, and if the DM asks you to change dice or whatever, do it. Go out of your way to make sure everyone is comfortable and that you're not cheating. Having a suspected cheater in the group is toxic and anti-fun. You're the asshole for thinking the laws of probability don't apply to you.
What the fuck? This man is so salty.
Edit. If I've misread your post and somehow you're rolling the dice in a specific way to boost your numbers, that's cheating. And maybe you're using spin down d20s like Magic the Gathering used for life totals, and you roll them in a specific way to make sure you're more likely to get high numbers. If so, stop now and start rolling regular dice the proper way. Don't be an asshat.
Jimmy, calm
Legs,
down.
I got words for you, buddy. And none of them can be said on YouTube.
Well, the other thing is like they're using their fucking modifiers.
They're using so many. Yeah, right?
Like they said, it turns mediocre rolls good.
Which would, yeah, with expertise.
So like I don't know if people are really calculating that in this judgment here.
I don't think so.
I definitely don't think Jimmy is.
No, Jimmy, you need to just have a good old spoonful of classic Griffin grease.
That'll clear all the hatred right out of your system.
Like fiber. There is a response to Jimmy, and they agree with him. Awesome X Striker, or Awesome X5 Triker. I agree they should be doing everything possible to set everyone's mind at ease. I also agree that a larger sample size.
Hold on. Yeah. How is rolling over 1,000 dice not setting people's mind at ease? They did a whole ass
experiment
study.
Yeah.
That conducted an entire scientific fucking like they're probably made a graph of every fucking like and took pictures
and like also used like their partner's dice for like probability chances. Like maybe my selection is like fucked up. And then the dice that they use primarily is from an online seller. So like it's not like they handpicked the dice. Someone gifted them those dice. And let me just say, as somebody with dice that have been like gifted to me or that I purchased online, I bet I roll similar to Metallic Rain. I bet I do.
Yeah.
Given I'm rolling metal D20, but you know, metal definitely isn't solid through and through. You know, there's no way you could get high probabilities with those, but I do.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, Metallic Rain, you keep doing your life, you keep living the good. Either come and kiss Emma or go and kiss Will Wheaton because they both had the dice curse and they need it.
Yeah. And maybe bring up to your DM like some of these. Well, this was a year ago, actually, but
yeah.
For anybody else out there who maybe is having a similar issue, talk to your DM about some of the potential options, the taking photos, and all that stuff, because I really don't think it should all be on this one person.
I don't think so either.
Especially after all this research.
Oh my god, yeah. The second story that we have for you, I also found on r/Am I the Asshole. This one is by Hold My Squirrel.
Aww.
Hold my squirrel.
I will hold your squirrel.
I know. The post reads, this actually doesn't have any votes. This is from a month or two ago from recording this. Am I the asshole for inviting my ex-girlfriend to my brother's... my ex-girlfriend of my brother to a D&D campaign? There's a lot of...
okay.
There's a lot of ifs here.
Yes. What is the context?
Yeah, here we go. My boyfriend and I like to play Dungeons and Dragons. With him being the game master and doing most of the organizational tasks in our group, my brother and his then girlfriend, let's call her Jen, a couple for about a year, also wanted to try D&D, so we played a short story for an evening with them, and only she was interested in continuing playing with us in a larger campaign. Both of us really like Jen, and she became a good friend in a short time that we've known her. It took my boyfriend about 2 months to write the story and organize a date where the whole group, including her, could play again. Meanwhile, my brother and Jen parted ways, or at least that's what we have been told. As my boyfriend and I really like Jen, we still play with her. We still play D&D with her. Today, my family called me out of the blue to tell me what an asshole move it was to invite Jen to our home, and that I am only thinking about myself and not the feelings of my brother. I then learned that they are not quite separated yet and see each other to maybe save their relationship, and he really struggles with that. Okay. It's not a concluded thing. There's like relationship tension here.
Okay.
But OP didn't know that.
Yeah.
The post goes on to say, and Jen told him that she's going to play D&D with us. According to my family, it is a huge problem if I continue this friendship with Jen, as long as I don't intend to save their relationship in the meantime with quote-unquote girl talk and stuff. I'm definitely not inclined to intervene in my brother's situation, as I don't think I'm in the position to do so, and they are definitely old enough to sort out the relationship stuff on their own. So am I the asshole for not wanting to end a friendship with an ex-girlfriend of my brother, only because my brother and family? I would say that they're not an asshole for wanting to continue the friendship. I would probably say if the family and the brother have voiced discomfort with Jen coming over to play D&D, that if possible, maybe they should go to someone else's houses and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, you know, those kind of like really weird relationship dynamics can become even more emphasized when it's like in your own home, like you can't escape it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's weird that the family came to the original poster instead of her brother.
Yeah, this is a tough one, man.
Yeah.
It really depends on like a lot of factors. Like, I don't know, how close are you to your family? How close are you to your brother? Did your brother do something shitty in this relationship? Did she?
Yeah.
Like,
there's a lot of things that aren't disclosed here.
how much do you care about your brother's comfortability? Yeah.
Yeah, there are some comments here. Maybe we can get some clarification. Top comment here by Petty Swashbuckler says, not the asshole, but if they're working on salvaging the relationship anyway, wouldn't playing D&D together help with that? A lot of D&D puzzles and battles require players to work cooperatively anyway, and roleplay can be good for expressing things that you're not comfortable directly saying. Either way, it's not your circus, and you're not obligated to serve as an unpaid couples counselor for them anyway, though. Although, it's hard to really judge without knowing why they broke up, but it doesn't sound like you know either.
I don't think that this commenter really understands the point of why everyone's mad. And also, the brother isn't playing D&D with them anymore.
No, it doesn't sound like it. Let me scroll up and make sure I didn't misread something.
It said that the girlfriend, Jen, was the only one that wanted to continue playing. So there would definitely be no couples counseling or role-playing or anything involved.
Jen did reply to that comment, and they said, "No, I don't really know the reason, sadly. We wanted to have him in our D&D campaign, but he didn't want to spend so much time on it, as we normally play 4 to 5 hour sessions once a month. He doesn't like to plan so far into the future, and that's completely okay with me." Yeah, so the brother's not involved with the game anyway. This is just it's a soupy mess of we don't know enough.
Yeah.
But I think with what we do know, that I think finding a different place to play would be the best solution.
Yeah.
To appease all parties.
I'm not comfortable announcing who is the asshole in this situation, honestly.
Yeah,
I really don't think there's enough info.
I will reject my vote. I will say appending ass to maybe not go in any holes.
Sure.
I just want to be in the video. Please don't use that.
So the intro. If you're the one editing this and you don't use that, I will find you.
We're joined here once again by Crystal.
Hi.
And Emma.
Hello.
And myself, I'm James. Feel free to check out the other videos. Yeah, I know. Anyway, jumping straight into this. Here on the RPG Horror Stories subreddit, we're jumping into the story here by the Krychen. The Krychen. Krychen? If I butchered your name, send me a PayPal request for 25 cents.
He says K-R-Y?
Krychen. Krychen. Krychen.
Okay.
Krychen. Anyway, the story of this, so the title of the story is DM drops a plot twist that misses the mark so badly, we all aren't sure if we want to continue.
Oh no.
Poor
How
DM.
intense. Here's the thing, I've almost done this, I'm nearly positive. In the recorded campaign that's coming out, there's a moment that I know for a fact I dropped in there out of the blue. I'm so glad you guys ran with it, but for a moment I was like, this could put us at a full dead end,
Like a make or
restarting
break.
the episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Maybe one day I'll do an episode about that. But the post reads, no need for people introductions except for the party and the DM. Backstory. About 30% into campaign 2, we ended campaign 1 quite abruptly, but campaign 2 had been going along fairly well. Important for the story, we had encountered a single mind flayer who gave us a bag full of gems that were not to be touched. And the DM has not implied at any point that we had any other encounters, nor have we found any blank spots in our memories. Crystal, so that you are aware, and Emma, I think you may know this, but just in case, if you don't know D&D, mind flayers are octopus head guys who mess with your memory, like they have full like telepathic control, like really intense. If you played Baldur's Gate 3, you're familiar with them.
Okay.
During one of our sessions in September, the party is in the Feywilds after helping res a backstory character. During this time, we encountered a seer that our Campaign 1 party were good friends with, and during Campaign 2 had helped us in various ways as well. She revealed to us that we had volunteered to go into a dream state to defeat a mind flayer dragon in another reality. That's, first of all, cool.
That is cool.
I like that.
But revealed to them that they had agreed to this?
Right.
Oh,
They
true.
didn't actually get to
So
do it.
hence the beginning when he was like, he indicated that we don't have any missing memories. So when did we agree to do this?
Right.
I will say as an early set, if I could, to the best of my knowledge, not believe that I have any blind spots in my memory, and then later someone could reveal it to me.
Okay.
Because I mean, without like full
So that's like a deliberate DM choice.
It could be, yeah. To hide your trail, and without like having full on divine intervention, there may not be any ways for you to fully know unless someone else tells you. But the post goes on to say that, which set off alarm bells in the entire party's heads, as it would essentially mean that the backstory events we had created prior to the campaign were fake. Okay.
Okay.
I'm waiting for
Interesting
more
leap of
explanations
logic.
here. Yeah. None of the backstory characters we had encountered were real. They didn't exist in the real world. We promptly stopped the session and told the DM, no, we don't like this idea, that we wrote backstories and characters that are ultimately were irrelevant. Okay, I think the DM is confirming that.
That they're in another reality.
I guess so. Let me just double back real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. A seer that their campaign 1 party were good friends with, campaign 2 helped them out and revealed that they'd volunteer to go in a dream state to defeat a mind flare dragon in another reality. I'm just gonna keep reading and hopefully things become clearer. We promptly stopped the session and told the DM, no, we don't like this idea that we wrote backstories and characters that ultimately were irrelevant, to which the DM seemingly panicked, and at the end of the session revealed that we had been infected with the mind flare worms, which had caused us to perceive the seer, the whole dream sequence, as mind flare infection-based hallucinations. Whilst still apprehensive, we carried on and tried to recover the roleplay until the DM announced he has burnt out and we went on an early holiday break. I'm still confused. I hope things clear up.
Is there more to the story?
There is so much more to the story.
Oh my god. Okay.
Um,
It's just okay. So it seems like what the seers said was everything that up until this point has been a dream to them. They're second campaign characters, and then they were like, "We don't like that." It's like, okay, what you just heard was actually worms. If that didn't happen, all your backstory is still there.
Yeah, actually, this is the hallucination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think you guys are right. The post does continue to say, this isn't the only issue we've had with the campaign, as there have been multiple cases of bringing things up to ultimately have them be ignored, such as, and get ready for the bullet points. We've had multiple fight encounters that needed to be beaten by calling an NPC for help. Okay, I have issues with that. We weren't able to just flee the encounters, as nearly every encounter of that type seemed to have a quote-unquote world-ending threat.
Oh.
You can only have so many
The
world-ending threats.
Right,
Yeah.
before it becomes,
It's like-
redundant. Yeah.
Just end the world already.
Yeah, I'm tired of fighting for it. One of the few fights we had that didn't require outside help was against my character's brother. When we defeated him, being that he was a level 20 fighter versus a party of level 6 level characters.
Oh.
That's impressive, first of all. But also goes to show you DM's fucking, combat and action economy. If they have the numbers on you, you got nothing. Anyway,
So true.
his loot included a Vorpal greatsword that was claimed by the barbarian. My character is a ranger that doesn't use greatswords, which left me feeling, well, we killed a backstory character and my character genuinely has nothing to show for it. That is
That's
frustrating.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
You killed your brother. He shared nothing to show for it.
I killed my brother and my
All I
friend
got
got
was
his
a sword.
My friend got his Xbox.
This is lousy great sword.
The Vorpal Greatsword did come in clutch in our next combat, which we won solely because our barbarian hit 6 crits in a row. Oh my god.
That's nice.
Oh, we use Foundry virtual tabletops so the dice are public, and I don't assume cheating. Virtual tabletop dice, they're not fair. They're not. I don't like them. I don't like them.
They're also just not the same.
And you gotta
They're
have
not
the
as
clicky clackies.
satisfying.
You gotta have them. Anyway, sorry. That fight was also incredibly dull for me and our cleric, as we were knocked unconscious in round 2 to 3, and the creature dragged our bodies further away from the rest of the party, while also knocking us back out whenever we succeeded death saves or received ranged healing from the party.
Oh, that
Scary.
is annoying.
That is annoying, but that's super intense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I kind of like it. However, if
I
you
feel like you gotta give your players a chance to get back up, though.
You do. If you guys want a way to fix this, I will link down in the description on alternatives to hitting 0 hit points. It's a video that we've done before. Yeah, graphic on screen, maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows? But there are ways that you can be down on 0 hit points and still be interacting with the combat. So if you struggle with that, or you want your DM to choose some other options, we have that video for you. We never really get extended RP. Whenever we start RPing with each other, there's a sudden call from a new NPC that requires assistance, or a new world-ending threat emerges. As of the end of last session we had played, there was 3 different world-ending event threats. that we were meant to deal with somehow. Final paragraph here. Ultimately, we brought this up to the DM just a few days ago, as we haven't played since mid-November, and his response was, yeah, that campaign sucks, I want to scrap it and move on. This doesn't sit right with any of us. Are we the assholes for considering just leaving the campaign entirely? Campaign 1 was really good, and that last session, story for another time, and outside of the complaints we've had raised with Campaign 2, it has been fun. So I really don't want to consider just leaving after a few issues. It just doesn't seem that the DM's plot hinged on this "it's a dream" twist. And since we didn't like that at all, he seems floundering. He's just floundering. First of all, overall great story. I understand the complaints of like not wanting to scrap something that everyone has sunk all this time into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it from the DM's perspective as well,
Yeah.
though. I have been in campaigns where things are just not working.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you run into like roadblock after roadblock plot-wise.
Well, if you didn't use up all your world-ending things at the beginning.
Yeah, it's, you know, sometimes you just get writer's block with a certain
Yeah.
world, and like, I understand the DM wanting to just like clean slate it and kind of start something else, at least for the time being. So I mean, I would say like maybe don't give up on him just yet and see what else he can offer.
And maybe bring up the other issues before he writes his new story of like always needing to call on an NPC to fight or to finish a fight, constantly having the world end at every encounter.
I think a big point of advice that this DM could learn from, and this is a pretty recent post, so the Crichton, if you're watching this, feel free to send this their way. Get comfortable with silence and get comfortable with your character's role playing. You mentioned a few times that there's always an NPC running in the middle of your role playing. You know, you have to be comfortable enough with your characters to sit and talk. And sometimes people want to do that. Not everybody needs to be rolling a dice or rolling a combat. And the other bit of advice that I have is that I feel like your DM might be using world-ending events as a way to motivate you to doing a thing.
Yeah, rather than just like figuring out what the players want to do and letting them lead for a little bit.
DMing and leading from the back end is one of the best ways to DM a game. Because at the end of the day, if they want to take the reins and do whatever they want to do, that is such an easy thing for you. Because you don't have to prep as much. You get to really kind of let them explore and have the most fun possible. And all you really need to do at the start of those sessions is you jot down 5 names that you can assign to some random NPCs and maybe have one encounter that can be anywhere in the world. Setting does not matter. Maybe someone's hunting them down, so they're going to be expecting them. You know, you don't have to have these very thematic combat encounters to really have
DMing
things.
doesn't need to be flashy and loud, and like, you know, you don't have to always be fighting to be the star of the show. Like,
Exactly.
as the DM, you are the show, and the players are the stars, and you need to let them shine as well.
We have a top comment by this guy's bragging, and I don't know what he's bragging about. Shoe_owner.
Shoe owner.
I'm glad you have shoes.
Yeah,
I
right?
think I know what he's bragging about.
So Shoe Owner comments, between the "it's all a dream" twist and the fact that he never allows your characters to roleplay among yourselves, it really sounds like he just isn't thinking about your group's ability to actually engage with each other or the world in any terms other than those which he dictates.
Yeah.
Even the resolution of the story with your character's brother doesn't seem to have taken the subject experience with your character into consideration. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big thing for me, because like one of the things I love about D&D is the fact that we get to roleplay and make characters.
And kind of choose your own fate.
Shoe Owner actually has a pretty long comment, but I think the ending here really kind of hits the point. Your DM, in short, needs to learn that this is a collaborative storytelling experience, and that it will be better for both you and for him if he works with you rather than against you.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfectly described, Shoe Owner.
I concur.
I concur.
Agreed.
That is about all the time we have for this episode, so feel free to go share some love to the Crichton, linked down in the description below over on the Reddit. And in the meantime, thank you guys for tuning in. Feel free to leave a like, comment, and join the Discord.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun over there.
Yeah, we do. Alrighty, bye bye for now, guys.
Bye.
Bye.